Well, we know God has been faithful because we're still here 131 years later. Pat and I weren't there at the beginning, we promise. But it says in the Bible that God knew us before we were born, and God knew this church before it became bricks and mortar, and he knew this church in a special way. If you're under 12, would you like to stand up? I don't want you to do anything, I just want you to stand up. Don't all stand up at once, because otherwise it'll... Come on, just stand up so that people can see that you're a child. Right. You'd like to be under 12, Shireen. And water. So what do children and water have to do with the start of this church? You can sit down now. It wasn't that bad, was it? No. 25 years before this church was being a church, so how many years ago was that? Who can do the maths? 131 and 25. Don't all shout it out at once. 130, sorry? 156, yes. 156 years ago, the Sunday school was born. Now, not many churches start with a Sunday school, but there was a young girl who was out down, we think, near where the Purley Recycling Centre is. We think that's where it is. Was out on a hot Sunday afternoon, and she wanted to drink. This is something that children shouldn't do to this day. And she knocked on the door of a house that was down there. And Mrs. Buckwell, opened the door, and the little girl asked for a drink of water. Mrs. Buckwell said, "Why aren't you in Sunday school?" And obviously the child said there isn't one. And so she invited her and some of her friends back to her house and started the Sunday school. We don't know what happened to the little girl, we don't know what happened to Mrs. Buckwell, but that's how this church started. And then we have another add-on, because a London city missionary started this church as a church. So we've got, unfortunately, our London City Mission, ex-London City missionary isn't well, so he's not here. And reading through this book, if anybody wants a copy, just let us know and we'll get some printed for you. They did all sorts of things over the last 131 years, and it just seems strange that the things that they did then, we're kind of wanting to do now. So, meeting in groups, doing things together. Jeanette was running a games evening. Well, they had a tennis club. They had a cricket club. And that all started here with this church, and many other things, singing in the car park, and many other things that we are still thinking that we can do, we did then. So God has been faithful in all the things that we do, then and now and in the future. So he is a great God.